Greetings, dear ones. This is the most important time, this most important time in your earthly plane where that is concerned, opening up to the grandness of self, the greatness of self, the wonderfulness of self. As you are now looking outside of yourselves, dear ones, in the third dimensional realm, and we reiterate, dear ones, looking outside of yourself at the third dimensional realm, what is transpiring in the world outside of you where that is concerned. Because what is transpiring outside of you in the world, the form out in the third dimensional realm, what is the happenstance of what has been transpiring in your world where that is concerned, looking at the happenstance of the world. And we are, dear ones, looking at, for you in many ways, what is happening in the grander picture, the bigger picture where that is concerned. Because that is what is most important, dear ones, to keep your focus and your attention on, is the grander picture and the bigger picture where that is concerned. And not about the specific events or what is transpiring, even though the specific events, that is what is transpiring in your world of form outside of yourself, are dissuading you, quite possibly persuading you, and moving yourself off center where that is concerned. Moving yourself off of where you are in the spiritual context of self where that is concerned, or the depth and breadth of you where that is concerned. So as you look at what is transpiring in the world outside of you in the third dimensional realm, or the old world of form where that is concerned, we are bringing you a message at this wonderful most time about collective consciousness. And we ask you the questions, dear ones, what is your collective consciousness where that is concerned? As you look at what is transpiring outside of yourself, and as you are in your nervous system quite possibly is being triggered to what is transpiring in world events where that is concerned, or the events outside of yourself in the third dimension. Well, the question we have for you is to ask yourself question is, what resonates and what no longer resonates for me? Is what is transpiring outside of me resonating with me, or is it triggering my nervous system to the old, quite possibly? As I look at what is transpiring in the old, what transpires within each and every one of you is that your nervous system is triggered where that is concerned. Your nervous system is stimulated where that is concerned, quite possibly bringing up old memories of where that is concerned, of conditioning where that is, all belief systems where that is concerned. So for each and every one of you who are moving on in your vernacular, a spiritual path, a unified path where that is concerned, a path of collective consciousness, a path of higher consciousness, a path of self-mastery where that is concerned. Within the context of all of that, dear ones, we ask you, look outside of yourself in the third dimensional realm of what is transpiring outside of you. Ask yourself the simple question, is what is transpiring outside of myself resonating for me or not resonating for me? Is it triggering or stimulating my nervous system where that is concerned? And that is where it begins, dear one. We are here, dear ones, to move you through a personal process, an inner process of love, an inner process of peace, an inner process of community, an inner process of equality, an inner process of unity where that is concerned. And given those inner processes where that is concerned, community, harmony, equality, and unity, and oneness where that is concerned, if that is what you prescribe to where that is concerned, is that a remedy for yourself as you look outside of yourself in the third dimensional realm of what is transpiring in the old world of form? Because, dear ones, what is transpiring outside of yourself now in the world, in your third dimensional context of things? And it's always important, dear ones, to keep it in context where that is concerned. What we mean by the third dimensional context of it is what is transpiring in the third dimensional context outside of yourself where that is concerned. If in fact, dear ones, you are multi-dimensional beings where that is concerned, multi-dimensional feeling beings where that is concerned, it is important to keep your focus on that as well where that is concerned, which is why we come to you with this message for you with this time. It's this time of great unrest, quite possibly, in your third dimensional, a time of great unrest inside of you where that is concerned. So it is about looking at all of this and becoming and moving back into a grounded sense of self. Simply now, dear ones, move to being an observer. Move to being an observer of what is transpiring in your third dimensional world outside of yourself. Move from quite possibly being a participant in it to an observer of it. It's a tool that you can use right now, dear ones, because what you can begin to do is observe what is transpiring in your third dimensional realm, and then observe what is transpiring within yourself in relationship to what is transpiring in your third dimensional realm. But all the while keeping the focus on, dear ones, if in fact you are moving deeper within a personal process, to release the old conditioning, to release the old belief systems, to release the old behaviors, the old habits, patterns, and rituals, and moving into a deeper place of unity within the self, community within the self, harmony within the self, peacefulness within the self where that is concerned. If in fact you move within that aspect in the depth and breadth of your heart space and the depth and breadth of your soul space, you can then pause for a moment, dear ones, and simply observe what is transpiring outside of yourself and not allowing yourself to be in the energetic flow of what is transpiring outside of yourself and moving deeper within to the energetic flow of you, the energetic flow of spirit, the energetic flow of multi-dimensional reality where that is concerned, and become an observer. And ask yourself the question, is what is transpiring outside of myself resonating for me, or based upon where I am in my life now, in the depth and breadth of my heart space, into the knowingness of love, the knowingness of peace, the knowingness of unity, the knowingness of intimacy, the knowingness of all of this, which is where I stand. Then ask yourself, is what is transpiring outside of myself resonating or not? And then, is it simply triggering my nervous system within me and bringing up old behaviors, bringing up old thoughts, old voices where that is concerned? And asking yourself, what is the next step? Well, dear ones, the next step in your third dimensional incarnation that you have are presently inhabiting where that is concerned is simply taking a pause and bringing together those who resonate and vibrate as you do within the same context of yourself where that is concerned. Because, dear ones, it is important to look at where you are focusing your energy and where you are lending energy. Because, dear one, for most who are embarking, who have embarked, who are on the pathway of a deeper inner journey, a deeper spiritual journey in your vernacular, a deeper journey to connect multidimensionally, a deeper journey to connect with the Christ consciousness, the God force. It is about energy, dear ones. And each and every one of you know this, of course. But it is out where you are expending your energy. Are you expending your energy on what is transpiring out in the third dimensional realm, where quite possibly you have been dissuaded and persuaded off the course of your inner journey, off the course of community, harmony, equality, off the course of peacefulness and love where that is concerned, and simply beginning lending your energy what is transpiring outside of yourself? So in many ways, dear one, this is what each and every one of you can do right now in this moment as you observe what is transpiring out in the third dimensional realm. And begin, dear one, the inner journey with this. And then congregating and communing with those who are on the same path as you are. And beginning that journey to create a new community of harmony, peace, and equality, of intimacy. It is about forming and reforming, dear ones, communities of like-minded souls, like-minded individuals, to raising the collective consciousness of that. Once again, dear ones, by taking the inner journey for yourself, and utilizing these tools that we have just given you, it will bring you on course and back into the depth and breadth of your heart space of who you are and why you are here. You can then reconnect and connect with those wonderful and most glorious souls who are on the same path and refocus your energy on raising the collective consciousness of that. But it's important, dear ones, to see, dear ones, that quite possibly what is transpired and what is transpiring outside of yourself in the third dimensional realm of these worldly events where that is concerned. The events of the old political systems, the old governmental systems, keeping the old in place with the basic message of division, duality, isolation, separation. Once again, division, duality, isolation, and separation. Where you have quite possibly, dear ones, in the human form, in your human form, have been dissuaded and persuaded to move back into that. Because it is that in many ways, for many, dear ones, in the human form, in the wounded human form, where that is concerned, in the wounds in the heart space, is the form of defense. Defending against what is uncomfortable for you. Defending against what is transpiring, where that is concerned. So also, dear ones, look at where you quite possibly are defending against what is transpiring outside of yourself by being dissuaded and persuaded to move into an old consciousness of isolation and separation. Whereas the new consciousness, the awareness of consciousness, is of community, harmony, and equality. So it is about looking at where you're focusing your energy, dear ones. So we ask you that question. Where are you focusing your energies? If in fact you have quite possibly moved into an old defense form of survival where that is concerned, as we said earlier, dear ones, your nervous systems have been triggered, quite possibly into the old behaviors of survival, where that is concerned, leading you into isolation and separation. And you are observing that outside of yourself in what is transpiring in the world of form outside of yourself. Simply be aware of that.